I own some silver. I own some gold. I've been buying silver and gold for many years. I've never sold any. I give some away as gifts occasionally, but no. If I were buying one today, I would buy silver. Silver is still down 40% or so from its all-time high. Gold is making all-time highs. Who knows? I own both. I'm not selling either, and I hope I'm smart enough to buy more given the right opportunity.
Jim Rogers is a veteran American investor and financial commentator with decades of experience investing and trading, alongside other legendary investors like George Soros. Jim is well known for his favorable and optimistic approach toward precious metals investments. During times of high inflation and widespread concerns about a global recession such as this, Jim believes investing in trusted assets like gold and silver can help investors protect their wealth and prepare for all scenarios. In recent times, Jim has become even more bullish on silver, which he describes as the opportunity of a century for investors patient enough to wait out the constant manipulation and suppression of prices by banks and other institutional investors in the United States. According to the legendary investor, silver is not only much cheaper compared to gold, but it has not made new all-time highs in a long time, meaning there is a lot of room for its price to run fast and wild when the inevitable collapse begins. Jim describes this impending crisis as the worst crash of his lifetime, which he says will be caused by the unbelievable amount of leverage in the system. Jim recently sat for a discussion with Goldcore TV discussing his views on investing in silver in 2024 and beyond. In his words, if given the choice of buying either gold or silver today, Jim would rather buy the cheaper metal because he firmly believes we are upon another commodities bull market, which has been known to be very good for silver prices. We will present clips from Jim's interview with Goldcore TV, but before we do, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss any of our videos. You can also share your thoughts, comments, and observations in the comments section below. We appreciate the support and hope you enjoy the video.
Fortunately, it's very easy for the Chinese to buy gold and silver. There's a gold shop everywhere you go, and you can buy more. The banks sell, or some of the banks sell gold and silver. It's very easy. I mean, the Chinese have been around a long time. They know that gold and silver is always a good thing to have in the closet. And I'm like an old Chinese peasant. I've got some too. All of us old Chinese peasants know when things go bad, you better own some gold and silver. And for a long time couldn't buy gold and silver, but now they can again. And the government is buying gold in a big way from what I read, and the people are too.
What do you think would have to happen in order for Western investors and Western retail investors to start to see the value of gold and silver in the portfolio in the same way that they do in the East?
Well, historically, it's usually when things start going bad in the investment market, when the bear market comes, it catches attention for many people, and they start looking for alternatives. And gold and silver historically have been one of those alternatives. That's the way I suspect it will work out. It's often worked that way in the past. I'm just an old peasant, and I know. I know. I'm trying to get mine early. There's nothing, when it's on the 6 o'clock news, a lot of people start to worry and realize, oh my gosh, what's going on? Let me do something. Right now, I suspect that whatever's on the 6 o'clock news says stock market's making all-time highs. Things are great. So most people right now aren't worried about anything. They have a job. Inflation's sort of under control. Stock markets are going up. Why worry? Why worry, for goodness sake? What's wrong with you? Well, I'm not in Dublin, so I don't know what they're saying on the 6 o'clock news in Dublin, but I do know in most of the world, the view is that everything is okay. Nothing to worry about. And as you probably know, at least I know historically, when everybody thinks there's nothing to worry about, that's when you should start at least asking questions. I own a lot of US dollars. Now, you may say, why? Because the US is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. But when there's a crisis or problem, people look for a safe haven. And for historic reasons, many people think the US dollar is a safe haven. It's not, but people think it is. So I own dollars, and my plan is when the turmoil comes, the dollar will go higher and I will sell. Now, you should ask me then, well, what are you going to do with the money then? And that is a brilliant question, and I don't have an answer right now.
Jim is as pessimistic about the US economy as he is as optimistic about gold and silver prices. The legendary investor moved his family from New York to Singapore in 2007 to experience the region's economic evolution and has never regretted the decision. According to him, living in a different country has allowed him to get more perspective on what is happening in the United States and the state of the economy. Jim advocates that those who can't leave should at least work towards diversifying their portfolios by investing in other regions. He warns that the coming collapse will be particularly devastating for the US economy and usher in a new order where the US is no longer a superpower. Let's get back to the video.
I will first say that you get more perspective on your own country if you go somewhere else for a while. It teaches you a lot about yourself, and it teaches you a lot about your own country. So I hope everybody does it. I am sitting here a few thousand miles away, and I know that U.S. is the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. And I know that the people in Washington, I sit and watch them, and I'm stunned. They don't even seem to be aware of that. They don't seem to care. And they seem to be running up the debts more and more every day. Now, they say it doesn't matter. They say, don't worry. Well, I've been around long enough or read enough to know that one should worry, maybe not this month, but this is going to cause a problem eventually. They keep printing money and spending money and borrowing more money and say, don't worry. It's a good time to be an old American. It's not a good time to be a young American. I mean, I have young daughters. The problems they're going to face as American citizens in their lives will be huge. It's like the British, in 1924, Britain was the richest, most powerful country in the world. 50 years later, 1976, they were bankrupt. That's not a typo. IMF had to fly into Heathrow, London Airport, and pay their bills. They went from the richest, most powerful to the bankrupt in 50 years. It's happened before, it can happen again. Okay, we had a big problem in 2008, as you remember, because of too much debt everywhere, including the US. Well, since 2009, the debt is skyrocketed everywhere. I mean, even China has a lot of debt now. China bailed us all out in 2008, but China has debt now. Everybody has debt now. So the next time it has to be bad. I mean, I'm trying to look out the window and say, don't worry. I can see the debt. It's staggering, and it goes higher and higher and higher everywhere. And throughout history, big debts have often led to problems. And this is the highest debt in the history of the world. Washington says, don't worry. It won't be a problem.
Are we starting to see cracks at the moment?
Well, I am not selling short. I have no shorts at the moment. I have not built up a short position. I have cut back on my longs in most places, but I am not selling short yet because I can see the signs developing of problems down the road, but I don't see the problems being strong enough.
The US economy has experienced an exceptionally long bull market, marked by predominantly benign market conditions, and experts like Jim believe the coming years will be less favorable. Many have predicted that the next decade will be inflationary and stock prices will remain stagnant, failing to make new all-time highs until the early 2030s. In his interview with Goldcore TV, Jim said, "We've had an exceptionally long bull market in the US without major problems. Elections often release some tension and pressure, which might happen this year. The US has experienced the longest bull market without significant issues in history. Therefore, I suspect that by November or next year, we may start to see some of this tension unravel, leading to a bear market. He also noted that bear markets, though widely feared, are a regular part of business cycles and are just as important as bull markets. A bear market is a condition in which securities prices fall, and widespread pessimism causes the stock market's downward spiral to be self-sustaining. It's the opposite of a bull market, where stock prices are rising. Bear markets are a regular part of financial history, Jim said. Nobody likes them, though some people do, most don't. However, it's important to recognize that bear markets have occurred throughout history and will continue to occur. Given the high levels of debt everywhere, this upcoming bear market could be particularly challenging. It's wise to find ways to protect yourself, whether through investing in silver, short selling, or other strategies. Regarding the upcoming election in November, it could serve as a catalyst or focal point for what happens next. Besides the election, there are ongoing geopolitical tensions and conflicts. The US continues to warn about potential actions from China regarding Taiwan, while China dismisses these concerns. The situation remains uncertain and is unlikely to bring positive news. Jim's predictions paint a grim picture of the future for the United States and the global economy. He anticipates the first signs of major trouble to emerge in less than 3 years, or possibly even sooner, after central banks embark on another round of money printing. His concerns about inflation, which he sees as the inevitable outcome of every money printing campaign, are particularly alarming. However, he offers a glimmer of hope, believing that real assets like gold and silver will weather the storm. Share your thoughts on the interview in the comment section below. Also, show your support by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notifications bell so you're always in the loop. We value your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video.